Good afternoon. I wanted to take this time to give you an important update on the most recent COVID-19 data. The number of cases in Illinois have been trending upward for some time. At the same time, testing has increased significantly. Testing positivity has also increased and is now above 5% statewide. You may have read or heard that we, quote, had the highest spike in cases in September. That was misreporting at its worst. As you can see from the data shown here, the number of daily cases in September was over 9% lower than August. However, in the month of October, we have seen the number of daily cases almost double. This mimics what has happened in the state and county, as well as much of the country, including our neighboring states. At first blush, this is concerning. It caused me to look closely at the drivers of this increase. First, we can rule out our events. The upward trend in cases began October 4th, well after the 14-day period following our last event that was held on September 12th. Additionally, our cases were flat during July, August, and September when we were holding our events. Second, it is not due to any changes in business openings. The Village Board adopted our plan on July 6th, and we moved to the final phase of July 20th, where we have remained until now. Third, some have suggested the case increase is due to schools opening. However, new school openings do not occur until the end of this month, and the cases started trending upward last week. Other schools have been open since the middle of August, and this case trend did not start until last week. Ruling out events, openings, and schools led me to go to another source, the IHME. The modeling is done by the University of Washington and tracks things like mask usage and social mobility. You will see that mask usage has been flat in the state of Illinois since June. While mask usage has not changed much since June, we have observed daily cases in the state triple. That informs me that mask usage is not the driver of these changes. Clearly, the data does not support the mask shaming from Springfield whenever there are new cases. We do see that there has been a slight increase in social mobility. However, cases statewide trended upward for months with flat mobility. While it may drive a slight increase, I doubt that it is driving all of this increase. For this reason, I called several of our area healthcare experts. They informed me that all respiratory viruses are increasing, as they normally do in the fall. This includes flu and rhinovirus. They also indicate that this is not a surprise, and that they have doubts about the arrival of an effective vaccine in time to change the course of COVID-19. Because it is not just about developing a vaccine, but also about producing it and distributing it. They suspect that herd immunity is what will eventually slow this virus down, like it does with almost all viruses. Unfortunately for some, COVID fear-mongering will continue to be the order of the day. However, nobody in the United States or Illinois is responsible for this virus. I know that some people have been pointing fingers when there are new virus cases. We hear them say that, quote, people aren't doing enough, or people are being reckless, or it is the restaurants and the bars, or it's college kids, etc. This is not helpful, nor is it based on science or data. Everyone needs to remember that COVID is a virus. And just like other viruses, such as the flu and common cold, viruses spread and they ebb and flow. However, people are responsible for the lockdowns. At the onset, even if you did not agree with these decisions, the lockdowns were understandable, given the lack of information that we had on COVID-19. They were done to protect the healthcare system. I remember what the CDC said in the first phone call I was on. They said we needed to balance protecting the healthcare system with the damage that these actions do to the economy. Somewhere, many people have forgotten that the goal of our lockdowns were to protect the healthcare system. To quote Dr. Nabarro from the World Health Organization, we in the World Health Organization do not advocate lockdowns as the primary means of controlling this virus. The only time we believe a lockdown is justified is to buy you time to reorganize, regroup, rebalance your resources, protect your healthcare workers who are exhausted, but by and large, we'd rather not do it. Data and science no longer support these lockdown measures. We will continue to monitor the data, paying particular attention to the hospitals. Currently, as you can see, hospitalizations due to COVID in suburban Cook County remain relatively flat. With that said, we know that hospitalizations with COVID at Silver Cross and Palos Hospital are up. However, as you can see from the statewide hospital information, significant capacity is still available in our hospitals. The current capacity is more than our hospital's typical operating condition. This means that we are in good position to handle the next wave without resorting to a lockdown of the economy, which leads to increases in other deadly issues, including suicide, depression, domestic abuse, and other mental health related issues. We know more about COVID-19 than we did in March. Testing is more readily available and more reliable. Hospital stays are far less frequent, and we have better treatment regimens that are leading to shorter hospital stays. Historically, we have only eradicated one human virus in history, and that took hundreds of years of worldwide effort. So it is unlikely that this virus will ever be completely eradicated. We need to learn to live with it, just like we have learned to live with countless other viruses like the flu. Based on the hospitalization information, these case increases are not a reason to panic nor go into lockdown mode. Instead, we need to keep you informed, and I implore you to use common sense precautions. This virus is real and can be dangerous, particularly if contracted by someone in ill health. For that reason, please get your flu shot this year. The flu, combined with COVID, will be particularly deadly, and at least we have a somewhat effective flu vaccine. Also, please use good hygiene, including washing your hands and hand sanitizing regularly. Additionally, stay at home if you're sick. Even though it is getting colder, please try to go outdoors and provide ventilation in your house as much as possible. Lastly, practice social distancing wherever possible, particularly if you are indoors. As you have heard me say many times, this is not a binary choice between COVID and the economy. To effectively treat viruses and have a good healthcare system, we must have a vibrant economy. We can keep living our lives and do so safely by using common sense precautions. Please be safe, and I will continue to keep you informed with regular updates. Thank you and have a great weekend.